Let's just run with no face. Can we just keep pace with no face?
Hey friend, it's 4:15 in the morning. That's why it's so dark. Let me take you to my kitchen. I want to talk about why this run is so important to me. So this is my last run in Tokyo, or at least the last run I can see. We've lived here for about 3 years, and as you can see, we are preparing to move. This is our Japan house logistics and what's required to move out of this house. This is what we have to do to clear out our storage unit. Good progress has been made. Japanese exit logistics is massive. Our cash flow is all screwed up, and we have to fly and say goodbye to our friends, and I need to get a new job, and we have to enter Chicago. So there's a lot going on in our life, but the reason this run is so significant to me as I look for water, I tried to run this run a year ago, more than a year ago, year and a half ago. Basically, I put together this half marathon training program to help individuals who are heavier set, have pre-existing health conditions or prior sports injuries, run their first half marathon. And for the first 4 weeks, I just trained core and strength and back so that they were able to walk a 5K, and then we gradually trained to run a half marathon. Eventually, I'm going to migrate this whole thing to a platform called Skool. Right now, it's on a Google Classroom. But at the end of that journey, which was 16 weeks, I tried to register for the Tokyo Legacy Half Marathon, and I couldn't get in because marathons are really hard to get into. In Japan, there's a lot of people that apparently want to run, which is crazy. Let me get our substance. Give me that BCA. Don't worry, I'm going to document our whole trip to the stadium. It's going to be fun. So, can I do this with one hand? No. Stay there. So, this is baby formula. I will not be adding this to my morning drink. But I couldn't get in, so at the end of the 16-week program, where I put a GoPro on my head and went for all these runs across Japan, brought my community into that, I found a runners club that was running the Tokyo Legacy Half Marathon. And there was maybe 25 people, and they ran the course on a random Saturday, and they stopped at every Lawson to do bathroom breaks. I'm gonna grab some ice. You can come with me. I'm gonna grab some ice. And they'd stop at Lawson's, and it was a really cool vibe. And I ran with what I call an OG-san, which is just a grandpa, and we set pace together, and we got it done, and it was really cool. But on literally the last day of registration for this year's Tokyo Legacy Half Marathon, we had a friend who reached out and they're like, yo, you could run this for charity. And I was like, oh, really? So I registered, and I had no idea that our life would blow up. We did. I worked in Japan for about 3 years. I worked for Johnson & Johnson out here for a total of a decade with J&J. And then I left because they're trying to move us back to the US, and we took a jump on entrepreneurship in Tokyo, which was pretty cool. I did that for 114 days, and unfortunately, our cash flow wasn't able to overcome our lead times, or our burn rate, basically. So we are taking a crazy jump back to Chicago next week. But I'm still registered for this half marathon. I haven't trained in 4 weeks. I'm 300 pounds. Big guy. I have 2 spinal injuries with my L4 and L5 almost completely compressed. I haven't done strength in about 4 weeks because of all these crazy life jumps and decisions to stay or go. It's going to be emotional, but I figured every mile I could check in and give you some insight from what I've learned over the last 3 years here, or just how to run a half marathon, or whatever the heck I'm feeling like at a given mile, and we'll see how messy this run is. So let's get out there.
All right, friends. Now, I wasn't going to start dropping tips until we're actually running, but based on some of my anxieties and insecurities, the first tip I have for myself and for you as you complete your first half marathon is to run your own race. I'm a large man, 6'3", 300 pounds. I have 2 compressed discs in my lower back. I have a wonky knee that I injured a couple weeks ago. And there's a lot of really skinny, super fit, fast Japanese people here, and there's no reason for me to try to run with them. I mean, we're going to be on the same road, but part of it is just showing up, doing what you can do. And I think another part for me is just being present in the journey. You can't run 13 miles all at once. as I've shared in prior posts and things, like I'm feeling everything with my transition, and this being like this last run in Japan for a season. I'm sure that I will run in Japan again in the future, whether it's for fun or living out here again. So I really just have to like go moment by moment. The race starts in an hour and a half. Enjoy the hour and a half of looking around, putzing, drinking water, going to the bathroom, and then enjoy literally everything I get to see over the next 13 miles of running around inner Tokyo, because in some ways each little moment's like a moment of nostalgia, I guess. So enjoy the process, even if running sucks, because our quote, running is fun when it's done, but we can try to enjoy it a little bit, maybe. Well, friends, we've affixed our bib, which means we're ready to run. We've done a LinkedIn post and we gapped our bag. And here's the Tokyo Stadium. It's pretty beautiful. Now, there are folks out there running. The race starts in an hour. I've never understood why runners run before they run. I just show up and start slogging away once it begins. Maybe I'm not disciplined enough. I prefer all these people up here that are just sitting and waiting, dreading what comes next. They're way up top. They look tiny. But anyway, friends, it's happening soon. So we're starting at the stadium, and then we're gonna go past Shinjuku Goen. We hit kilometer number 2, which is yuck. I wish they used miles, but we're in Japan. We run along this loop for a while, suffering, 5K done. Itabashi, there's some aid in case we want to die. Past Tokyo Dome, that's where the there's a team that plays there, Tokyo Giants, baseball team. Go through Jimbocho. Medical aid if we pass out, very helpful. Sudacho, medical station if we pass out. You know, it's nice, they're very thoughtful. And then at 10K, we're right near here, which is Tokyo Station, which is super aesthetic. And then we kind of just repeat the same path going back. Now, we did get to see a little bit of Imperial Gardens. We don't get to run through it. Chiyoda's where I actually worked for Johnson & Johnson for like 3 years. So that's a fun spot. But no Tokyo Tower. We might be able to see it at some point on the run. But then we're starting kind of near Akasa. And then Shibuya is out this way. But anyway, friends, should be fun. That's the course. Let's not die. This is also fun. This is our elevation map. So in the beginning, we have a little bit of a climb, but we'll have all the energy, so we won't feel that. And then you'll notice it's flat, 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 flat. And then on the back end, oh my God! So that's gonna suck really bad on that last, I don't know, 4 kilometers, which is like 3.5 miles. When we don't want to be running anyway, we're gonna be running up something. So, oh joy. Hey friends, let's run the Tokyo Legacy Half Marathon together. Welcome to Dad Bod. No face! Oh my gosh, he's gonna get so hot! Where's the start? Did we start? Where's the start? Is this the start? Stop. It's just a workout. It's just no big deal. Oh gosh. Let's just run with no face. Can we just keep pace with no face? Alright friends, so here's your first tip for running a half marathon. Go at your own pace. We're like dead last. There's like, I don't know, 5 people behind us, but We gotta lock in the pace that works for us, and then we'll go from there, all right? And we'll start passing folks.
Mile. Total time 11 minutes and 53 seconds. Split pace 11 minutes 52 seconds per mile.
All right, friends. So 1 mile down, 12.1 to go. Came in at 11:53. That's still fast. I want to be at like 12:20. So your first tip for running your first half marathon, especially if you're big like me, really focus on core and back, keeping everything taut. Nice, mild forward lean, and not getting caught up in the energy of folks around you. Everyone starts at a different variable pace, and you just got to lock in what you know. I'll see you at mile 2.
Distance 2 miles. Total time 23 minutes and 26 seconds. Split pace 11 minutes 33 seconds per mile.
Hey friends, we're still going too fast, and we have to use the bathroom. So that's the second tip. Use the bathroom as much as you can before you run. I did that, but I also drank. So now I have to wait 2 more kilometers. Let's get to work.
Miles. Total time 34 minutes and 45 seconds. Split pace 11 minutes 19 seconds per mile.
Alright friends, mile 3. Now we're still running too fast, which is a problem. We're at like 11:19. So I need to slow down. But tip number 3, gooey packets. These things are disgusting. I use GU. I've imported them from the US to Japan. They suck. I'm gonna eat it, but off camera because I always gag. All right, get that fuel.
Total time 46 minutes and 13 seconds. Split pace 11 minutes 27 seconds per mile.
Alright, mile 4. Still too fast. Still have to go to the bathroom. But you know what? We'll keep plunking along. Your encouragement as you run your own half marathon is smile. You can't smile the whole time because that's disingenuous. Honestly, a lot of this experience sucks. But when people make eye contact and cheer, and they're dressed up like Pikachu and Sailor Moon, smile back. Grab just the tiniest hints of energy from those that are with you in the journey. All right, let's get back to work. Brilliant. No line. Let's do this. All right, that was the fastest bathroom break I could have imagined. It was like 42 seconds. I just have to convince myself that I can still run. How'd I get though? I had an old guy say like, "You're okay, let's go." It's awesome. All right, we're over a third of the way done, friends. Keep it up.
Distance 5 miles. Total time 59 minutes and 50 seconds. Split pace 13 minutes 38 seconds per mile.
All right, friends, 5 miles. It's exciting. We're officially in the messy middle of this. It's probably harder to smile, probably harder to breathe. A couple things I would encourage you with. You could try some Wim Hof breathing, just like a double forceful inhale through your nose, pause, slow exhale through your mouth. Repeat it 5 to 10 times, increasing the distance between each breath so you can get control of breathing while holding your pace as opposed to things riding up. So I'll do a couple. And on the last couple, I literally stand up tall and settle. Kind of find my posture. All right, let's go get mile 6. Halfway, kinda.
Distance 6 miles. Total time 1 hour 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Split pace 11 minutes 21 seconds per mile.
All right, friends. So we're approaching halfway. Halfway sucks because for me, I think the worst lap is like mile 6 to mile 9, like that 3/4 stretch. It's the valley of despair. So my recommendation, embrace the suck. Smile if it helps. Grimace if that's all you got left. I'm gonna flip the batteries for the next halfway marker. Keep pushing. Oh, sugoi. Almost to 10K. Very close to halfway. There's a big blue, beautiful building. Let's get to work.
7 miles. Total time 1 hour 23 minutes and 10 seconds. Split pace 11 minutes 58 seconds per mile.
We're getting closer to a 12-minute pace, which is where I want to be. We're losing core stability, a little bit of fatigue. Left knee holding up pretty well, which is surprising, but I gotta watch form. Oh, what have we done? It's thinning out. They've closed the race on the other side. Konnichiwa. Your encouragement? I don't know. Why are you even here? Why are you running? This is the point where sometimes we don't even have a why. In Japanese, we just say shogunai. Like, it is what it is. Keep going. See you on the next one.
Seconds. Split pace 11 minutes 43 seconds per mile.
All right, holding steady. Just hit 8 miles, so we're like 2/3 of the way, kind of. We don't count that last mile to get to 13.1. That's just a pleasant surprise that we'll save for later. That's our next tip. Don't stop when you get water. Just kind of like throw it down your throat and choke a little bit and get all messy and keep going, because that's what I have next. So hurrah, keep pushing.
Total distance 9 miles. Total time 1 hour 46 minutes and 50 seconds. Split pace 11 minutes 57 seconds per mile.
9 miles in. We have passed the 3/4 of the way hell. We have made it through the Valley of Despair. We are in the informed optimism threshold of like, okay, it's only 3 more miles. We're still ignoring or delusional about that bonus mile at the end. But your encouragement is something I've always told my friend Clayton when we were in not grad school, undergraduate together, pulling all-nighters, working on engineering. And it's normally around 2 to 4 in the morning. We were exhausted. I just kind of look over at him and be like, hey, Clayton, you know, we don't have to be here. We could always drop out. He's like, we're paying to be here. We can leave. And he'd always scoff at me, focus and finish my homework. We turned it in at 8 a.m. and go back to bed. In the same way, friends, we could walk right now. We could leave right now. We don't have to be here, but if we hang in, we're gonna feel a heck of a lot better in about 4 miles when it's done. So keep it going. You're almost there. Or quit, whatever you want. We're in no man's land, friends. So we got mile 10. I don't know if we have 3.1 left, 2 left. I can't remember how long this race is. Encouragement. Just go home. You could be done right now. That's what I want to do. Whatever.
Time 2 hours 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Split pace 12 minutes 13 seconds per mile.
Alright, 11 minutes. 11 minutes. 11 miles in. We've been running for God knows how long. 2 hours and 11 minutes. We've held pace besides the bathroom break at around 12-minute miles. Some Japanese saint gave me a tiny cup of Coca-Cola, so we might have what it takes to finish this up. Get to work. Hey friends, 12 miles. We made it. We're done. That was what we were looking for. Oh wait, there's more? You mean there's 1.1 miles left? Or 2 kilometers? Crap, get back to work.
Total distance 13.04 miles. Total time 2 hours 36 minutes and 46 seconds. Split pace 12 minutes 1 second per mile.
Oh friends. We're not done. But we're making it. We're close. Yeah, but I don't know. Gotta go around this one lap. What is that? 400 meters? But we've already gone 12 miles, so I guess what's another 25 seconds of hell? Friends, so proud of you. Today's really emotional, really challenging day. I'm so glad I showed up for myself, for you. You need to keep showing up for you. It doesn't matter if you run, if you walk, if you bike, if you crawl. Get to the end and then recover and pick a new challenge. But we're almost there. So close. You can see the joy. Oh cool, it's the winter ceremony. Oh my god. Okay. Almost. My ankles are shot. Come on. Come on. Let's get ready to stop our timer. We're at 2 hours, 38 minutes, and 40 seconds. It looks like we're tracking to 2:39, 2:39:30. Yeah, no vanity finish on this one. Oh, gosh. Almost. Cross however you can cross, friends. I guarantee you'll get there. Build the life you want. All right. I get a medal. You did great. Oh, arigato. Thank you so much. Hi. Arigato gozaimashita. Is that Phelps? What's it taste like? Ooh, it's in Braille too. That's so cool. I haven't gotten one of these in a while. Awesome. Now friends, we've made a terrible mistake. We sat down. Sitting down is very bad. It is giving in to the indulgence of lack of pain but we're trading it for pain later. That said, when you finish a half marathon in Japan, besides a medal and some like really nasty recovery soup stuff that you drink, it's like a Slurpee jelly thing, they give you meizen tonkatsu sandwiches. So let me do an unboxing for you, and then we'll share kind of some last insight and gratitude. By the way, this nice perch, nice reflection perch. I got the whole stadium to myself with you. All right, get steady. Oh my God, editing's gonna be such fun. Look at that hair, it's so fun. All right, so unboxing. Yeah, they're like little mini bentos. When we first moved to Japan, we were actually next to the Meizen restaurant. I mean, there's a couple, but you could also get them at like specialty. Japan has what are called like these marketplaces. They're typically in the bottom of like large stations. What is it called? Like Tokyo Marché. But you can get meizen there. They're fantastic. I'm gonna open one up. It's fried pork cutlet with like some sweet tonkatsu sauce on it. Max recover. And then let's talk about running and stuff. Ooh. Pop right out of the end there. Alright. Reflections. And like, couldn't you have talked without food in your mouth? I just ran 13 miles. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Now, hey, running is hard. Life is hard. That's why I run. It helps me condition my mindset. It helps me just show up for the tricky things in life. And one of the things I like about running is there's an end point and there's no end point. And what I mean by that is if you set out to go and do a 3-mile loop or a 5K or a half marathon like today, there is an end point. You pace yourself for it, you work towards it, you get it, but then there's no end point, as in you still have to show up the next day and stretch or lift or run. So it's a continuation, and over years, your body and strength degrades and changes. I was running in a class of either larger Japanese people with injuries, a lot of knee injuries I saw out there, and then Oji-sans, which is beautiful. Like, I love running with Oji-san, and I'm hoping that if I stay on the path, eventually I'll be an Oji-san running. But it's really only you against you. But you have to kind of train to be able to reach that end point, but also recognize there's more beyond it. The reason I share this is because I'm going to tack this onto the Dad Bod Half Marathon program. You'll get to see the first time I ran a half marathon and struggled. It took me 3.5 hours. Lots of walk runs, lots of mess. Today was a struggle, but I held pace at around 12-minute miles. And today is day, I don't know, like 527 of my fitness journey since the first day I started that program. So you can progress in some really exciting ways if you keep showing up for yourself. If you keep showing up regardless of how you feel. Like, it can't be an emotionally driven decision, because a lot of times emotion will tend towards comfort. And running sucks. It's fun when it's done. But anyway, friends, see you in the next one. Keep changing the world.